Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. So, last time I asked for ideas of weapons to build up for this playthrough, and you guys had some good ideas. Two of my favorites were, somebody said I should just like roleplay a cleric completely, and go and grab the Morning Star or a mace. And I like that idea. I've used the Morning Star a little bit, but I've never upgraded it at all. And, you know, that seems pretty fitting, so we're gonna go grab that. Another person had a really cool idea of making an occult great scythe, which sounds really fitting to me and also really awesome, because I do like the scythe. I've never, like, used it myself, but I've seen other people use it, and it looks badass, especially, like, Crazy Mike just destroys people with it in PvP, so that's definitely something I'm interested in. So what we're probably gonna do is grab the Morning Star now, and upgrade it and see how I like it. And if by the time we have access to the Great Scythe, which won't be for quite a while actually, if by that time I am not impressed with the Morning Star, then we'll switch over to the Great Scythe instead. But you know, by that point, like, the amount we'll spend on upgrading the weapon at that point isn't going to be like irreplaceable Titanite or anything. So we'll still be like totally good for a switch over, if that's the case. So, you know, one of those two weapons we're going to use for our playthrough, and maybe even if I don't use the Great Scythe as our occult weapon, I might use it as our buff weapon for the Sunlight Blade. Whoa, is that a... Oh, I thought that little gray circle over there was an item that I had missed in my last episode, because I remember hopping in there and thinking that there should be something in there, and I still kind of feel that way, but I couldn't find anything, so, you know, there you go. But anyway, you might wonder why I'm going backwards. I'm not sure if I explained this clearly. The Morning Star is in a place in Firelink that I forgot to go that has a bunch of little starting items in it. Nothing too important, but still a place I should have definitely stopped by in the previous episode, but, you know, I didn't, so here we are now, rectifying that mistake. Oh! Didn't quite get my shield up in time for this guy, but that's okay. Oh no! We lost our item. Well, presumably that was like... Uh-oh. I don't think my plunging attack worked on that guy. Presumably that was like a hollow soldier helm or something. Nothing too important. What does this guy have? A firebomb. Nice. We can throw that at somebody, but we do have fireball pyromancy already, so a little bit unnecessary probably. I tend not to use my fire bombs. Did I totally miss this item on my last run through here? How did I even do that? I guess the firebomb dude was being an asshole. But anyway, let's see what we got here. Soul of a Lost Undead, super important. It's gonna give us like 400 souls on use, I think. Or, oh, maybe that's the 200 soul one. Either way, it's not very many. Not very many souls at all. But anyway, we're gonna come through here and get the Morning Star. Oh, this guy's here already. Excellent. Let's have a little discussion with this guy as well. I'm sorry, I should have
Hello there.
let the stuff play.
I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Sorry, the first thing this guy said is that he's trying to keep his distance from the undead. And we are, you know, we're not looking so great, so that's understandable. It's so habit for me to skip through all this dialogue. I apologize if I do that again in the future, as well as doing it this time. Anyway.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
He's just a nice dude.
Very
He's like...
well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and join this guy's covenant. So he's like just trying to keep his distance from the undead, and then this guy comes up to him, keeps fucking bugging him, and he's like, "Alright, how
let me
about..."
share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
And he's just gonna teach us some stuff. Let's, oh wait. That's not what I meant to press. Let's learn the gesture shrug. Why not? And we can purchase item. And he's got a number of miracles that we definitely want to pick up at some point. I mean, obviously not all of them, but heal is definitely something that we want for 4,000 souls. We're going to need to try to pick that up at some time. We also need the Thorolund talisman. But that stuff is a
Come
little bit
again.
outside of our
Yeah.
price range right now. I think he was just going to tell me again that the effectiveness of miracles is determined by my efforts and faith. They're nothing too important dialogue-wise, but let's go ahead and actually grab what we came down here for. We'll just jump down this hole that looks suspiciously like a bottomless pit, but is actually not. And then the camera's going to do a little dance back and forth back there. And we're just in this area with a whole bunch of chests. And, oh, sweet, we get a free talisman. That's excellent. Okay, so we've got the Morning Star now. And that's a weapon we can actually wield at level 1 without worrying about leveling up any strength or dexterity, which is nice, because we can put that stuff off for later if we indeed end up wanting to. Homeward Bones, very handy ability that we should actually put on our hotbar right now. That's not what I meant to do. Instead of, yeah, Transient Curse is not something we're going to need anytime soon. Where's my Homeward Bones at? There they are. So Homeward Bone is an item that allows you to warp back to the last bonfire without losing anything. So if we're far away and don't want to just die because we have a bunch of humanity or souls on us or something, then we can just do that and end up back where we need to be. So very useful items to have. We'll probably need to pick up some more at some point. They're worth about 800 souls each in shops. So not the cheapest resource for us right now, but you know, that's okay. So we're gonna rest here to get rid of those skeletons that we angered and move on here. I definitely do want to get heal as soon as possible. That's a really good miracle. It's basically like 5 extra Estus flasks. They're, you know, depending on the faith and the level of your Estus flask, they're not generally speaking as good as an Estus flask, but you know, it's still 5 extra heals, which can definitely make the difference in an area where you're a little bit starved for Estus. I found that in my last faith playthrough, I really didn't need to kindle bonfires as often as normal. Kindling, by the way, if you're not familiar with the practice, is offering up a humanity to a bonfire so that it starts you off with more Estus. The Firelink bonfire starts you off kindled up to 10 Estus automatically, so you can see we're starting with 10 Estus, but if we go to like the bonfire in Undead Burg that we got to earlier, that's only going to bring us up to a maximum of 5 Estus. So we want to be a little bit careful with this starting Estus we have here and not blow it all, or we'll have to kindle that second bonfire. But hopefully we'll be able to get through this area without needing to kindle it. Though, I mean, that bonfire is pretty central for a lot of different bosses, so eventually we're going to need it kindled regardless. So maybe we might as well. But at the same time, I kind of want to avoid going human in this area while I'm so low level, because it's a really common practice to twink here, which is get a character really strong and ready for invasions, but don't level them up at all. You know, like, leveling up is only one way you get stronger in this game. You also, you know, obviously, like we just saw that miracle. We could totally use that miracle right now at a low level, but we don't have it because we haven't been able to afford it yet. And there are particularly some very strong pyromancies that people like to use at level 1 to fuck with people that we do not have access to, nor do we have any good way to defend against. Like, combustion is a really effective twinking tool that I would be 100% powerless against, because my weapon is at level 1. I don't have access to really any armor yet. So, you know, it's a bad time going human in this area is what I'm trying to say, so we'll probably avoid that for now. But if we need to, then I will definitely kindle this bonfire to get some extra health going on. Uh-oh. This is not going the best. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to make it to the bonfire without having to heal up at all, which is nice, so we can conserve all 10 of our Estus. And I would level up, but actually what I want to do is head down to the store nearby here, because there are a few things I want to pick up there. And souls, like I said, are both currency and experience, so we have to choose between, you know, either... Oh, jeez. Fight 2 dudes again. I should really experiment with the moveset of the Morningstar a little bit. That's a pretty cool R2 attack. It's our heavy attack. But anyway, I need to use my souls on purchasing some items rather than leveling up right now, so we're going to go do that. We definitely need a better shield, and this guy has one. because this shield does not have anywhere near 100% physical damage resistance and also has pretty mediocre stamina. So let's just kick this guy's shield down and then bash him in the face. Oh, he got his shield back up. Ah, and he's gonna heal too. Stop it. Oh, shit. He was so close to his friend that it was a little bit dangerous to try to prevent that. There we go. One dude dead. These guys are like the riddle of the fucking Sphinx for a new player. Like, it took me so long to figure out how to kill these guys. I really thought that was a backstab. Anyway, let's just kick his shield down. Because I didn't know how to kick. The kick, it's not like there's a button for kick in Dark Souls. It's just you flick the stick forward and hit LB at the same time. But kicks are really useful for dropping the shields of enemies. But, like, initially it took me so long to figure out how to fucking damage those guys. Lying in ambush ahead, that guy is not wrong. There's a man over here who's gonna be a big dickhead about everything and break through there. It's really scary your first time through, but anyway, let's kill him. Take his souls so we can come over here and make some purchases.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
This guy's voice is so good. I like him a lot. Yeah, let's go ahead and purchase item. So first thing that's important for us to pick up is going to be this heater shield, and that's going to take the majority of our souls, unfortunately. But that's a really good early game shield that we'll definitely want to have. Resonance key, not important because we already have the master key, so we can get to all of the buildings I'm concerned about. There's I think a sorcerer that you need to buy that thing for, but oh well. We'll pick up the orange guidance soapstone just in case I feel the need to put down any messages. That's how you make those messages on the floor that we've been seeing. And let's go ahead and buy a couple of repair powders because it is real important.
Thank you kindly.
To have repair powder on hand, because sometimes your weapon gets damaged, and later on we're going to grab a repair box so that we can repair our equipment at Bonfire. But still, hey, we're up to 11 Estus because somebody kindled near here in our IP pool, and that just gives everybody a little bonus to their Estus. You can also see we have one soft humanity. The game kind of gives you a few of those as you go through here. I think it's when you kill specific enemies, but I'm not really sure exactly when it pops up. But anyway, we have some now, so we could go human if we wanted to. Let's grab this throwing knife. And let's make a nice running leap here, so we can get over to this secret area. I don't think there's anything too important here, but hey, it is a secret. So I'm kind of obsessed with getting to it regardless. Oh yeah, we actually do want this crossbow and some bolts, because later on, what does this say? Praise the sun, yeah. So that guy made that with his orange sign soapstone, and then it ended up in my world. Uh-oh. Didn't expect to see these guys down here for some reason. There's a nice short sword for us. And what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the crossbow. I'm not sure if we have the dexterity to wield it, but if we do, it's nice for luring enemies out sometimes to shoot them with a crossbow bolt, because then you don't have to go close enough to aggro their friends, and they'll just be like, "Hey, what was that? Somebody just shot a fucking crossbow at me," and his friends will be like, "Well, you're crazy, man. There's nobody here," and he'll run out, and you can fight him alone instead of having to deal with multiple enemies at once. We might also, you know, we can use pyromancy for that sometimes, so we've got options. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to use the crossbow for it, but hey, I picked it up anyway, so there you go. Let's see. Here we go. This is a total trap. You can pick up some rubbish, and then hollows climb out from everywhere. So we're going to back up a little bit so they can't surround me, because getting surrounded is the quickest way to die in Dark Souls, I've found. Let's just go ahead and fireball these guys. Undead really don't like fire. It's part of the lore. They're very weak to it. But even so, these are pretty weak dudes, regardless. Anyway, we're picking up some nice souls here, which is handy because we do want to go back to that shop and pick up a repair box, and I don't know if he has anything else important for us. I don't know if he has any any of the stuff that any of the weapons people suggested. I'm pretty sure I know where the Great Scythe is. I don't know how to get to that soul. Or, it's not a soul, but, you know, that item. Maybe we have to jump off over here? Yeah, like we break these barrels and then... Oops. It's not breaking these barrels. Ah, well, we totally found an item here. Not sure if this is the way to get to the item. It doesn't seem that way. But, hey. There's a sweet item for us, and now we have to walk all the way back around, but that's okay. Just picking up some top secret stuff, and then we'll get back on track, and probably beat the boss before the end of this video, if I had to guess, unless I fuck up really bad. We do have 11 Estus, so there should be plenty to get over there and do that, assuming I don't, you know, again, fuck up really bad. So we've got our Morning Star. We've got our got our heater shield. I'm gonna put that on. Heater shield, by the way, is a good shield. It gives us 100% physical damage resistance, and you know, decent fire and lightning. Pretty bad magic, but it's rare to find a shield that has good magic resistance, and it has 55 stability, which is not the greatest for sure. But early game, it's a very serviceable shield. As you can see, it's just across the board better than our wooden shield that we were using before. Did I take it back off? I did take it back off. There we go. So that'll be good. And now, I'm actually not going to rest at the bonfire because I'll respawn a bunch of enemies doing it. So we're just going to go. These assholes are going to throw fire at us. And this room is like the first fuck you from Dark Souls. We actually got very lucky with it this time, but even so, it's not that hard for me after doing it a million times, but it really, this room is like, okay, deal with a crowd in a tight room with, like, dudes that you can't see coming for you, and you're, like, forced to run into the room because of the fucking fire throwers. And it's just, like, it's a total dickhead, basically. So... yeah, anyway, like, any Dark Souls player is going to recognize that room and be like, oh god, it's this place. This guy's just hanging out waiting for us. There's an item in here with him? No, there's not even an item in there. Why did I even go in there? But just a surprise zombie. And let's grab, I think this is black fire bombs? Yeah. So some slightly more powerful fire bombs if we feel the need to throw fire at something, you know, beyond what our fireball spell allows us to do. Then we'll hop up this way. Let's try to backstab this man, I guess. Oh, didn't work. Aw, man. This wind-up on the Morning Star is a little bit slower than I'm used to. Like, the Uchigatana is very, very quick and agile. We're gonna use the Master Key to pop in here and get a pretty important item. This Lightning Pine Resin that we're about to pick up is real good because it adds lightning damage to your weapon for a short period of time. It's a weapon buff that you don't have to use a spell for. It's just an item buff. And it is incredibly useful. It is a really good way to beat the first boss if you're having trouble with it. We may or may not use Lightning Pine Resin because I kind of feel like I'm probably going to fireball him to death. So we'll probably save it for another another thing. But if I fuck up once doing that, then I'll probably Pine Resin it up. Just going to wait for this guy to attack and then stab him in the back. So it's not really a back stab anymore when I'm using a mace. It's more like a back bash, but you know, let's go ahead and bash this guy's skull in. Probably should have two-handed there. Maybe I would have killed him. Now there are two of them, so that would be pretty risky. Uh-oh, that was close. And there we go. We got a Titanite Shard. That's a handy drop. That's going to allow us to upgrade our weapon later on when we get to a bonfire. And let's head up this way, and oh my god, it's a burning barrel. Fucking run. That thing does a lot of damage. I've been killed by it before. It's really a big pain in the ass. You just walking up some stairs and suddenly, because if you're not looking that way with the camera, you have no idea. And like, why would you think to look up at that weird angle? Just Dark Souls has a great sense of humor, man. It's really good. So we could go through that door now with the Master Key, but that would be a terrible idea because there is a very strong boss back there, so we're going to avoid that. Is there an item in here? I feel like there might be. Nope, just a bunch of barrels. I think there might be like a crystal lizard around here or something. I'm definitely thinking of something that is hidden around here, but I can't think of what it is. Or maybe there's another building that looks exactly... Oh! It's a crystal lizard! I knew it. Oh my god, don't get away. Get back here, you motherfucker! Yeah! Alright, so we got a Titanite chunk and some Twinkling Titanite. Those are both very good endgame weapon upgrade materials. Let's go ahead and drink up before we enter the boss chamber. And yeah, I think I will just throw fireballs at this dude, so no need to worry about it. So first thing we're going to do in this boss is climb up this ladder and take out these assholes up here, who otherwise will shoot crossbows at us throughout the entire boss fight, which is a big pain in the dick. Oh, I meant to backstab this guy. That's not going to happen. Uh-oh. Okay, all good. There we go. And then we'll backstab this one instead. And now we're ready to start the boss fight. So here we go. I'm going to climb back down this ladder. Run over here. This is a really well done boss fight too. Because you come in here and you're like, what's going on? And then suddenly dude jumps off the roof. And fucking just comes at you. Giant demon. And this guy is substantially more difficult than the Asylum Demon. But anyway, we're going to climb up here and do the same trick we used on the Asylum Demon, actually. Which is try a plunging attack. Just hit him right in his fucking face with it. And then we're going to get the fuck out of here. So we can get some space between us and this giant beast. And then we're going to throw fire at his face because fireballs are real good early game damage. Oh man, I don't have the stamina to block him. That's a little bit scary. That's okay. All we have to do is like wait for him to attack and then throw a fireball and try to stay in range of it. Uh-oh. Ah, that barely did any damage. All good. I'm gonna drink up some Estus after this hit. Excellent. We should have this guy. Uh-oh. Roll, perfect. Oh man, perfect timing on that roll. Oh, we're out of fireballs. Alright, so we're gonna have to finish this off like a man. Uh-oh. And the big concern here is don't fall off the fucking level. Because this guy does some serious knockback and we do not want to stand in a place where if we get hit, we're going to go flying off the edge. Which is a little bit scary. That's like the main way this guy kills you. In my experience anyway. So I'm going to try to stay over here where there's not too many holes in the level. Now we can just wail on his ass. Uh-oh. Alright. Just wait for him to attack one more time, and then we can heal up a little bit. Perfect. He's very nearly dead. Hit his balls a couple times, no big deal. There we go. Alright, so Taurus Demon down. And you would think Dark Souls would be like, oh, good job, you beat your first boss. That was probably pretty hard. You had to go through this gauntlet of enemies every single time you wanted to try him. Like, that is a really hard first boss in a video game. Kind of ridiculous what you have to go through to beat him. But, so you'd think they'd be like, oh, good job, here, have a bonfire, right? There's no such thing through here. We did get a bunch of souls for that. 4,000 is going to give us our heal spell in a little bit. But, you know, we come down here, and actually first we're going to talk to an NPC. And you would think, you know, this looks like a great place for a bonfire, right? No such thing. But, even better, Solaire.
Hello. You don't look hollow. Far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time.
Even Solaire, just the creepy laughs every single time you talk to anybody. This guy's really nice. We're going to talk to him one more time.
Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Alright, so that guy's name is Solaire, and we're going to summon him for a number of boss fights, and he's really helpful and nice. And by the way, here's where you go if you just beat the, just beat the Taurus demon. Just get lit on fucking fire on this bridge by this asshole dragon. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, that guy can one-shot you if you run a little bit too far into this area your first time. Like, I backed up in time to not take the brunt of the fire. I just took a little bit of it. But that guy will absolutely one-shot you from full HP. And it's a huge piss-off. You just beat the boss, and then suddenly you're dead anyway, and you have to go all the way back. You don't have to re-beat the boss. The bosses stay dead forever, unlike most enemies in the game. But still, like, come on, man. Alright, so we're back to our original bonfire. And I'm actually going to head back to Firelink one more time, because I do want to pick up the, what am I thinking of? The heal miracle while we have enough money for it. It might also be a good idea to get a better talisman, but I don't know. That's pretty expensive. That's going to be all 5,000 of our souls right now. And the heal miracle is pretty expensive as well, so I'd rather have a miracle than a better talisman right now. He sells a talisman called the Thoralun talisman, I think, which does not scale with faith. It just adjusts your miracles to a set amount, which sounds bad, but it's actually great because early game we do not have the faith required to like have good adjustment on our miracle. Uh-oh, this is... My camera got a little bit crazy there. That was not at all what I intended. You know, just kill all three of those guys at once. But we definitely do want that talisman for the early game until we get our faith up to, you know, maybe the mid-20s or so, where a different talisman takes over. There's actually an even better talisman called the Canvas Talisman, but we won't get that for quite a while because we didn't start as a cleric. Clerics get it from the start, where we found our Pyromancer Flame. But unfortunately, like for non-clerics, it actually takes a long time to get to it. But it's not that it's not substantially better than an ordinary talisman, just a little bit. But it's still the one that we want to end up with. So we'll just bust our way through these hollows again. There we go. There's a plunging attack. Oh, I totally ran out of stamina. That was dumb. Yeah, throw some fire at me, big asshole. I have a 70% fire resist shield. What are you gonna do? Anyway, we'll come through here and grab just a few more souls, because we do definitely want to be able to buy as many things as possible as quickly as possible here. It would be a disaster, by the way, if I had fucking died with these souls and then died again. So that we didn't get our bloodstain back, because that would set us so far behind on our purchases and levels and so forth. But anyway, back to this shop up here.
Oh, I will teach you.
And we're going to pick up heal. Heal is pretty much our number
Come
one
again?
miracle right now. That is going to be excellent. So let's go ahead and equip our talisman instead of our pyromancy flame. Though we might still use the pyromancy flame for some things. For right now, we're just going to go ahead and attune some magic. And I'm not going to replace my fireball with heal because we can't have both. So if I need to, again, I can switch back to my pyromancy flame. But for right now, we'll have our heal miracle at the ready. And we can use that. It's especially useful in a situation like this where we don't want to kindle further bonfires, because now I can kind of prioritize using my heal, and my heal will go all the way up to 5 uses every time I rest at any bonfire. So we can use that first and not dip into our 10 Estus, which is nice. But as you saw with the boss, even if I didn't have the 10 Estus, I wouldn't have really needed it. It's going to be a while before kindling is going to be a necessity for me. We just got a short sword as well as a hollow soldier waistcloth. But the hollow soldier armor, pretty bad in general. We're probably not going to wear that. I'm not sure what our first armor set is going to be. We'll probably end up with something like the paladin set. But, I don't know. I don't know. We'll probably try to do something fast rolly, because fast roll is nice. You know, with the exception, of course, of the bosses where you just put on full heavy armor and tank them, because otherwise you spend too long trying to kill them. There are a number of bosses like that where it's like the best strategy is just kill them fast without worrying about blocking and stamina management and so forth. Anyway, let's head back to Undead Burg and maybe actually stop by the Undead Merchant and pick up a repair box while we're here, because we definitely do want to, you know, maybe even think about repairing my equipment now. It's probably not too close to breaking, but it's not a risk we want to take, because if my weapon starts, you know, being at risk, then we do way less damage. And it's actually super cheap to repair equipment. Like, the whole mechanic of breaking equipment in this game is so silly to me, because it's like, if your weapon is fully, super, totally fucked, it's like 200, 300 souls to repair it. So really not a big deal at all. And your armor, same deal. And very quickly that starts being 0 souls. Right now it's a little bit of a substantial number, but not that much. And later on it's like, oh, I'll kill 1 enemy and I can repair my weapon fully 5 times. So pretty silly mechanic, like I said, but hey. Oh man, that was dumb. I thought I could get in a hit before this guy could and just kill them both and stun lock them, but no such luck. You know, we'll go ahead and avoid using any Estus. Let's actually, in light of that, run back, use a healing miracle, and then head down to the shop before we rest. Because there's really no reason to, like, kill these guys, go rest at the bonfire, and then kill them again. So we'll just come through this way instead. Kick this guy's shield. Oh, that's not a kick. There we go, and then bash his skull in. Excellent. This guy's just facing the wrong way. What are you doing? Uh-oh. Getting shot in the back. That's pretty annoying. Anyway. Bash his skull in. Good. I thought he was going to get his shield up in time for a second there. But no big deal. Let's run down here and see our merchant.
Oh, there you are. Still keeping your marbles all together? Then go ahead, don't be a nitwit. Never hurts to splurge when your days are numbered.
This guy's dialogue is so good. I love this guy. It's a good thing we don't have to kill him, because killing him is how you get the Uchi Katana I was going to use, but got the Morning Star instead. Alright, so let's pick up the bottomless box to do some inventory management, and oh fuck, I don't have enough for the repair box now. I thought it was only 1,000. Damn it. Alright, well.
Thank you.
There goes that, I guess. We'll grab that later. We can get that from a future NPC though, so it's not a huge deal. And it's very rare to break a weapon. In fact, I don't think I've ever broken a weapon before I got to the next NPC that sells that, so, you know, no harm, no foul. We'll grab that later. And in fact, in light of that, we should probably just go ahead and level up right now to get these souls out of my inventory, just in case I fuck up and die with them. No reason to just carry around a bunch of souls. You know, spending souls quickly is the way to play Dark Souls. You don't want to try to save up a ton, because eventually you will die and you will lose them all. I was going to level up Faith, but I actually feel like I could do with a little bit more Vitality right now. And I think we can totally afford to put those levels into that before we finish getting our Faith to 20 for the future miracle that we're looking at getting maybe in the next couple of episodes. But certainly not too soon. Let's go ahead and leave. And I think this is going to be the end of episode 2 of Dark Souls. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know again if you have any build ideas, any ideas for anything I might have missed, or anything that I should be going back for. And then in the next episode, we can maybe address some of that. And thank you guys for watching. Next time, we're going to go upstairs back to where that dragon was on the bridge, and instead go underneath it and go on to the next area. So I'll see you guys then.